Okay, hello YouTubers and welcome to my review of The Revenge of the Cybermen set, which has just come out. It's B&M. This is a one myself and a lot of people have wanted to get released for a very long time, and thankfully it's a re-release for the most part of the original set. So yeah, and it does have some improvements, a couple of drawbacks, but it does have a couple of improvements on that. So yeah, so obviously we get 3 Cybermen in this set, and also a Cybermat. Now, in terms of the price of this one, I'm going to talk about the price initially, because it's £25, which, yeah, I don't know quite what to think about that, to be honest, because 25 quid for this set, considering all of the previous 3 packs at B&M have always been, you know, the same, or sometimes even slightly cheaper than the Dalek sets at £21.99, as they were for the past few years. Don't know why this one is more expensive than that than the others, to be quite frank. I don't know. I mean, if it means, you know, that we did get a Cybermat included in there, in the set, if that was, you know, the extra cost for the Cybermat, then fine. But if it wasn't, because, you know, characters do like to be a bit greedy, then we'll see. Speaking of the Cybermat, I'll talk about that first. So, yeah, it's the exact same sculpt. However, this time, for some reason, we've got a sort of a yellowy gold tip at the end, and we don't have the little red bits. We do have this section painted black. Now, I've done a bit of research into this Cybermat, and I've taken some screenshots and that from the story. So you can see here in this screenshot, you can see here the red section there and the black section there as well. Here it is. This is the only time we actually get a look at the underside of it properly, like a good look at it in the story. And you can see the black section just here when it's attacking Sarah, but you can also see the red section. So I don't know where Aldebar's got this gold idea from, and painting the bottom section of it gold and that as well. I really don't know why this is the case, to be honest. He's also done it in that more shinier type silver, which this one really shouldn't really be in that shiny silver. It's actually a lot duller than it is in that, but it is a nice thing nonetheless, and I'm glad that it was included. Speaking of the Cyberman, so put his arms down. It is, you know, exactly the same sculpt. It does have some improvements in the fact that apparently the tubing on the original did jut out a bit. This one, it's being fixed so it doesn't jut out at the bottom section anymore. Now, a big deal Aldebar made about this one is the head sculpt. Or more specifically, the eyes and the mouth. The mouth is painted black, and actually it does look better, and the eyes have also been painted. Thankfully, not black. They've been painted, as Aldebar puts it, gunmetal grey. In fact, if you listen to the podcast where he talks about the Revenge set, gunmetal grey seems to be Aldebar's favourite word. I think he mentions it at least 8 times within 2 minutes. So yeah, is the eye mesh gunmetal grey? No, not really. Gunmetal grey is just a mesh and that, and it looks darker than it is just because obviously, you know, there's an actor inside and everything. But the gun at the end has also been given a little bit of paint and not just left completely silver. The chest unit has been revamped. We've got some black dots in that here, and this section here. Now, this was originally a Moonbase / Tomb of the Cybermen chest unit, which was also used in Wheeling Space, and here it's back to being its original way round, though obviously redone on that. So now this section has been given a greenish colour, and so is this bit, and this is the contention. Are they that colour in the story? Well, again, I've had a look at the story and that, and I think I know where Aldebar was coming from with this one, at least. But yeah, let's take a look. So first of all, here is a behind the scenes picture, and that from the story itself. And yeah, I can't really see where he's coming from with it. And that one, there's another one on that during the story itself. Again, nothing green and that popping out on any of them. And then finally here as well. But I think I know where the green is coming from. You might be able to see it a little bit there. There's a little bit of what looks like green or fringing just there. And what that could be is one of two things. Either one, it is the lighting reflecting off the silver suits in the story, or, excuse me, since this story is on videotape, for the most part, there's a couple of bits of location footage, but since it's on videotape, it could be more likely the chroma information from the videotape actually, you know, reflecting off the chrome and not really being able to process it properly, making it appear a bit green in places and having a bit of fringing. That could be where Aldebar's thinking that these are green, because he literally does say it. They're not, I mean, in real life, to be honest, it doesn't look too bad. Well, the bottom one does look a little bit more off. Like, I don't know where he's gotten this colour from, to be honest, for that bit. These sections don't look too bad and that, but yeah, like I said, you know, nice improvements here in the head. This section bit here and there, less so. With the Cyber Lead also, taking a quick look at him, to be honest, not a lot to say, and that the gun section has been painted apparently gunmetal grey, and that rather than just being black, which, you know, it is a different colour, and that's from the rest of it, which is true, because look, there it is in the actual story. So yeah, there's that, and obviously thankfully it is painted around the back plate and that here as well, so hooray for that. As you can see, you can also still put his hands on his hips, and that they don't stand up particularly well, these Cybermen, but yeah, because they give out really tiny feet actually, and also they are a bit back heavy as well. But yeah, really nice Cyberman. I really do like this design, and that again with the quality control a little bit on these ones. I don't know how well it's going to show on these ones, but the paint on the face almost looks a little bit lumpy in places, and yeah, I don't know, it doesn't look quite as crisp as it normally is. I mean, I mentioned this previously in the Remembrance set with that eye and the gouges and that it had in it, and also with that. So I'm hoping this isn't a sign of characters, you know, quality control going downhill and that again, like it did back in 2011. I'm hoping that isn't the case with these. I'm hoping that, you know, I mean, it's not awful. It's not awful, but, you know, does get me worried, especially considering, you know, this is more expensive. But regardless of everything I've just said, you know, what do I think of this set? Do I like it? Yeah, I mean, I bought more than one of these, and that I bought several to army build. I've bought 4 of them in total, so yeah, I've spent £100 on these. Taking a look at the box and that itself quickly, you can see it's on a blister card here. Interestingly though, this has a backdrop on it, just like Emperor Davros did, which is a bit odd. You can see you've got information and that on the back there, which, you know, no one ever reads. But yeah, it does have a backdrop, which makes it incredibly difficult to not destroy the box. As you can see here, I've cut along the bottom, all the way along there, and just along the side bit there to get them out, although it was a very tight squeeze to get them out. But yeah, I didn't want to obviously rip the box. But yeah, you can see there's a Nerva beacon and that there as your backdrop. But yeah, I imagine a lot of people are going to be destroying this box in order to get the figures out. So yeah, it seems like a lot of effort for something that a lot of people are going to destroy, and even if you don't, you can't really use it without as a backdrop because you've still got the bubble on there, and even if you cut it all out, you've still got obviously this section here that's glued on. So yeah, I don't know, it seems a bit odd, to be honest. A lot of effort for nothing. And if that's the reason why it's extra money, I'm, you know, because I would like to know the reason why it was £25. Because the reason the Dalek sets are the way they are, you only get 2. If you can see there's a lot of screws, and there's a lot of different parts to a Dalek. And that in comparison, there's loads of different parts, all these rings are separate pieces, and all of that costs more money. Whereas the Cybermen, and that, they can all be moulded and then just put together with the little pins and everything like that. So, and especially considering it's 3 of the same figure, and that one of them obviously, you know, slight paint difference, but yeah, we've got 3 of the same figure plus an accessory. I just want to know why it's £25 and that, because I'd be interested to know the reason why it was more and that. But yeah, I will say at least this is a set that, you know, this is a worthwhile one, and definitely a one I do highly recommend. I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest, the Remembrance set or this one. I think it kind of also depends whether you have the original ones or not. I do have an original one, but I actually sealed it all back up. I actually taped the box back up, and I don't want to take the tape off the box, which is why I'm not doing a comparison here. But yeah, overall, I do highly recommend these sets. Bit odd when it comes to B&M sets, because a lot of B&Ms still do not have the previous wave of sets in. Even the ones in my area, and that most of them don't have it in. So yeah, bit odd, and that hopefully they will all be in there in time and that for Christmas, which I'm sure they will be, because obviously B&M is going to want to make their money on this. So yeah, as I said though, really like this set, very happy with it. So yeah, that's the end of B&M sets and that for this year. But we do have one more figure in terms of an online exclusive, which was meant to be released this week. It might still be, who knows. But yeah, but on that, you know, this is pretty much the end of the figures and that release for this year. So this is a decent one to go out on.